So let's talk about your 5-day gut reset protocol.
Okay.
What are we doing,
All right.
Dr. Shaw?
So every day we're doing the three F's. Okay. So every morning you're gonna wake up, no matter what, whether you're doing the gut reset protocol or not. Every day you're gonna do the fasting, the fitness, and the fiber fermented foods. That's without goes without saying.
Okay.
When you start on the 5-day reset, the first day, in addition to what you've already done in the morning, you're going to add exercise. And it's the first E of the 4 different E's that we're going to be doing. And the last day, we're going to add all of the E's together. So it's like
Okay.
exercise is the first E. Okay. And exercise, for all the reasons we already talked about, your gut bacteria get happy. It's the best probiotic that you could ever do. And when you start moving your body, all of that distension starts to move, because whether it's fluid, whether it's a food baby, whether it's, stool in there, whether it's, it
Just a
needs
lifetime of chronic overeating and making terrible choices,
is
or doing keg stands, or going to 17 weddings this summer.
there you go.
Regardless of how you're coming to the table, you're welcome. And we're going to start this protocol by adding in exercise. And does it matter what exercise you do during the 5-day reset?
No, it doesn't matter. Just move your body, because let's be
Okay.
honest, any kind of exercise is good exercise. Now,
Okay.
if you want to add in yoga because you get the twisting, amazing, because we know that physically twisting your gut is going to help release some of that gas and some of that fluid retention and get things moving. So I love things like yoga to add when you're exercising, but more walking. So say you walked in the morning, walk in the evening. Again, weight training, as you know, and I know, we lose about 1 to 3% of muscle mass each decade as women. And during menopause, that speeds up to almost double. And so getting that body moving, lifting weights. Okay. So
Okay.
exercise is number one.
Okay. Day 2.
Day 2, eliminate, E. So the second E is eliminate. So what that means is that food elimination diet we talked about, you're going to start doing that. So take out dairy, gluten, white sugar, whatever you think may be triggering. So for some people that could be nuts, for some people that can be shellfish, some people it can be corn, but usually it's gluten, dairy, and sugar. If you're not sure, just take those 3 out. Okay. That's
Okay.
eliminate. That's day 2.
Okay. Day
Now,
3.
day 3, you're going to start eating foods your gut bacteria loves. The stuff we've already talked about, the things that are going to help your body, recover from this crazy thing that you put your gut through. So it's going to be that spinach, that asparagus. It's going to be that fruit, that bromelain from that pineapple, that papaya that has a digestive enzymes in there that help you digest it. So you're going to add foods back that your gut bacteria love. So yogurt is another one.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What protein
Mm-hmm.
is better for your gut than other, in terms of like types of meat or
Yeah.
fish or beans or lentils? Like, what is the kindest
Yeah.
protein to make for a happy gut?
So if you're not plant-based, then egg protein is nicely digested by a lot of people. Doing an egg scramble or doing fish is a good way to get your protein. But if you're plant-based, then you could do beans, but make sure they're soaked, like black beans soaked are really gentle on their stomach. Whereas certain beans that if you don't soak them, they can be gas producing. Tofu is a nice thing to eat when you're trying to get that. And of course, like I said, yogurt, probiotic yogurt and cottage cheese are awesome ways to get that protein. That's not necessarily meat, but it's a dairy based high protein food that you can have. And then of course nuts. Although nuts aren't necessarily the biggest source of protein, they do have some protein in them. And so having that protein, but protein in general is a great way to keep your gut bacteria happy and satisfied as well. So that's a really your gut loves protein. What it doesn't love is fake protein. Do you know what I mean? Like those shakes
Fake
and
meats and stuff.
bars and fake meats and like all the fake stuff. When you have a protein shake, I don't know about you, but I immediately get bloated. That
Yes,
my body
pretty
does
much.
not like processed protein. So the shakes and the bars, and we all are busy. I eat protein bars and shakes like we have to. It's part of our busy lives. But when you're trying to reset, try to have the protein in its whole form, because that's going to be the kindest thing that you can do to your body. You don't want to exacerbate the issue.
Now, I noticed you didn't say locally raised meats, chicken, lamb. Would you not want to eat meat during this 5-day period?
You know, the studies on meat have become very controversial, as you know. Okay. But a new study came out, and this is becoming a really big thought. It's that we used to think that meat in general was very inflammatory and that your gut was very inflamed with meat. But there's new data that show that maybe it's not necessarily the meat itself. Maybe it's the type of meat that you're eating. Like, is it fast food meat versus meat? So the meat story remains to be pieced out. But if you're eating something that's super healthy, locally raised, you know, not full of antibiotics, not from, you know, your local fast food place, this is going to be a nice source of protein. And as I said, our biggest goal is to make that gut bacteria happy. And although fiber and fermented is the number one goal, we said protein is also the goal. And so getting that, but it's a very nuanced conversation, because you basically could argue still the bulk of the research still shows that red meat, or especially processed red meat, is probably inflammatory to the gut and causes all kinds of issues. But things are changing. So I would say it's like a complicated answer. If you enjoy it, it's doing good for your body, you're feeling healthy, that's a great thing to add to your diet.
Okay, I just want to recap for everybody. So the 5-day reset, one of the things that you're doing is Dr. Amy Shaw's morning routine, which are the 3 Fs. And so you're going to do this every morning, which is the 12-hour fast before you have your first meal. It is the fitness, and then it is a breakfast that includes some sort of fibrous and fermented food, because that makes your gut bacteria happy. Day 1, you're going to add in exercise, meaning in addition to the fitness walk in the morning, you're going to add in a little yoga, a little something else. Day 2, you're going to start an elimination of dairy, gluten, and white sugar. Day 3, you're going to be adding in and eating the kind of food that your gut bacteria loves, which we're learning all about. And what is the E that we add in on day 4, Dr.
I
Shaw?
love this E, because you're going to love it too. The E is for enjoy. So when we're in our stressed and opposite of enjoyment, right, is when you're stressed and anxious, you can't digest and you can't heal from what's just happened to your body. And a lot of people, they come back from a vacation or holidays and they're so stressed, and they're punishing themselves by doing all these crazy diets and cleanses and exercises, and it's making things worse. You actually need to go back and spend time with people who are good for your mental health, because they're also good for your gut health. Okay. These gut bacteria, just like we said, we want to make them happy. They are super happy when you're spending time with people who make you feel your best. And it's so crazy to think, but they love bonding. Bonding is a love language for your gut bacteria. They love it. So you want to enjoy yourself. So it's spending time with people you love. It's dancing. It's, doing something that lights your brain, body on fire. That's like, you're so passionate about. Enjoyment is like one of the things that people don't realize that can be so healing to our body, not just our gut, but our entire body.
Got it. Okay. What do we do day 5?
We're putting it all together.
Tell me what that means.
All of these. So in the morning, you're waking up, you're checking if you fasted for 12 hours, wait 12 hours before you eat your first meal. Then you're going for your fitness right after that. Then you're coming back and you're like, oh, time to eat. You're going to have, a big scramble with veggies, yogurt, and berries on the side. And you're going to have your ginger tea because you're trying to eat the foods that are great for your body. So high protein, high fiber, fermented food breakfast. And then you are going to maybe go for a yoga class or do some stretching or exercises again later in the day. That is going to help you. You're going to be on this elimination diet journey. It's not one day. You're not going to know what things you're sensitive to. Our gut our gut microbiome maybe doesn't even respond for a few days. You'll have to do this, extend this for as many as 3 weeks for some people to really find out what their true food sensitivities, but at least 1 week you want to be doing the elimination. And then you want to eat foods all day that your body loves. Like, this is not the time to maybe have your artificially sweetened, snacks and chips and crackers and fast food. This is time to eat really healthy whole foods. Maybe you'll have a spinach salad and you'll have a bowl of fruit on the side. These are that's your eat. And then do something, bond with someone. Go out for a walk with a friend. Go have coffee with someone that you haven't seen in a long time, a mentor, a friend, a colleague, your loved one. Spend time with your dog, your baby. Do something you love. Maybe you're doing some creative writing, and that is like the perfect day at the very end. And that's like, if you did all the things and you put it all into one day, that would be the day.
You and I are picking up where we left off in our last podcast episode. This is part 2 of that conversation. I just love Dr. Shah. She's here because she's breaking down the topic of gut health for you and me.